Okay, hello RuneScape Far fans, this is RuneScape Far, and today I'm not going to do an actual walkthrough of Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, but go over some of the new features. I'll do an actual walkthrough of one of the levels tomorrow, and that is a promise. Now then, the first thing I'm going to take a look at is the data converter. Now what this allows you to do is convert files from Outbreak File 1 to File 2, or File 2 back to the File 1 or the original one. And now then, there's also some new modes in the collection mode you could buy. And as always, you gotta do certain things and complete certain levels to unlock them. So let's take a look here. We got some galleries. Some of these are converted from the original Resident Evil Outbreak. Same here as the costumes you transfer over. Like the NPCs here. Now, this is all they're going to say, but the ones from actual Outbreak, File 2, will actually say where they're from. So, yeah. And though some of the costumes did transfer them over, so you already have them there, you don't have to unlock them. Although there are still special costumes you can go buy and unlock. Okay, let's take a look here. New intros and movies and everything. Same thing with sounds. And now the extras. We got Showdown 1 and 2. Do not know what those are. The costumes NPC characters, I have no idea what that does. Hopefully I'll be able to unlock it and show you guys what that does. We have Elimination 1 and 2. And of course hard mode, and then there will be very hard mode and the rest of the modes you unlock. Let's head back to the main menu. Now I'll go over some of the characters. Now, all the characters are original from the game. Okay, these are the new maps. You got Wild Thing, Underbelly, Flashback, Desperate Times, and End of the Road. Now, all but Underbelly has an AI assigned to it. Cindy, Alyssa, and Kevin, and David. And I have not played this one without being David, so, Kevin, so he probably dies. This one, David does die and become a zombie. Just like back in the first Outbreak, where Yoko becomes a zombie. Okay, now, I'll go back to this one. This one features a lot of familiar scenes from the first Outbreak and some very familiar enemies besides just zombies. Now, Desperate Times does take place in the RPD, and once I do the walkthrough for this, I would do it as Kevin, because if you do as Kevin, there is a special ending where you see two familiar people drive by as you leave the scenario at the ending. And also, there is also another reference to one of the other characters from one of the Resident Evil games I will not say until I do the video, so no spoilers. Now then, Flashback. Of all the characters, I do not highly recommend Bob whatsoever. Now then, you gotta get Bob from the original Resident Evil Outbreak and then transfer him over. Now, Bob starts out with no health, and he gets injured very easily and dies very easily. He has a high infection rate, and just of all levels, don't even bother picking Bob, just skip past him. It's definitely, as a challenge, even easy mode, because he gets hurt so much, I don't even know what he's like in normal mode. And speaking of all these characters, each one now has their own personal item besides what's in the description. Bob and Mark, or Kevin and Mark, both get their own pistol clips for their guns. Jimmy could say another coin. George gets a gun. Now, it doesn't shoot bullets, it shoots capsules out that you make with them, and you can shoot them at teammates to heal them from a distance. David, he gets the Jay's lighter, so you don't have to go find one if you want to make a Molotov cocktail. Alyssa gets a taser, Yoko gets a lucky charm, and Cindy gets the bandage, which is very helpful. You can't use it to heal her, but it prevents her character from bleeding out, period. And then I really want to see what that NPC thing does, so yeah, I definitely want to see what that is. Okay, now then, going back to the end of the road, the only way you can unlock this scenario is by beating all of these. And the training ground is a pretty cool. It takes you back to the Jay's bar from the original Outbreak, and it teaches you actually how to play the game, unlike Outbreak where it just throws you into the game. This actually teaches you it, and there's a lot of new features in the game, like just like in Dino Crisis, you can walk with the gun and still be able to shoot. It will automatically lock onto targets nearby. So that is pretty cool. You can ask AIs to use their own health items. They have them. If they're like poison, they have a blue orb. You can tell them to use it, and they'll use it. There's also a sorry button. I'll show you guys later when I do the actual review of one of the maps. But that actually basically covers the majority of this. Now, what I do have to say about the game itself is it is definitely more challenging than the original Resident Evil Outbreak, for the fact that the puzzles are harder and they make you actually use your mind, and the bosses are just harder. Every one of these has a boss, and especially with End of the Road, so many things can affect your scenarios. There's like 4 different scenarios, and each one can go different ways depending on how you played the boss. Just like in Wild Things, Flashback, and Underbelly. And if you actually fail them and do the main scenario ending, you can still go through and play them all. And there'll be like more on there instead of just you getting back on the subway. If you miss the subway, you gotta go all the way to this other building and find another way out. So definitely more scenarios, definitely harder for the puzzles. And I do rate this game a 10 out of 10 for it. It's a definite improvement from the original Resident Evil Outbreak. Okay guys, so I will bring you the actual tutorial tomorrow of one of the maps. I'll probably do Wild Things. And please subscribe, leave comments, and as always, have a nice day. Live, love, and game on. Follow me on Google Plus for more updates. And as always, have a nice day.